Welcome back for part two, the TNL. Ace King here, 200 big blinds. It is a well 3-bet it, and go a little bit larger because we are deeper. Oh, Ace 7 off there. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Really not happy about this situation. Pocket fours here versus generally it's a fold, high frequency fold. But given he's a weaker player and he's min raised as a weaker player in the big blind, we're going to call. Ace King here. We don't block any of the broadways, like King Jack of Hearts, King Queen of Hearts. So I'm going to call. He could be leading two pairs sets here. Fours here, going to check. Also, this player here can have all the sets too, apart from aces. I mean, sixes and tens. I still think we have to call. Well, that's a bad river. Yeah. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see this guy have ace 10 plus, ace 10, pocket 10s, pocket 6s. He could also have ace king that he didn't 4-bet. I'm not sure. I had a bad feeling on the flop. Like I said, not having any of the blockers, the Broadway blockers, it's quite nice here. So, does Queen High have enough showdown here? Not sure. These are always interesting spots where there's two flush draws. I mean, I don't think he is a 10. I think he pets all his 10x on the flop almost all the time. So, in that regard, he's a bit capped. Tens here will be a squeeze call versus 50 big blinds. I have this guy tagged as an aggressive fish. Min raise, queen jack off under the gun. Jams versus massive squeeze for 100 big blinds. I think we display fairly honest here. Queen 8 suited, cut off, we had open. It's a bad river. I just hope someone with king queen or king jack didn't get there. Oh, nice. We do block the hands that we want to fold, so it's not a great double barrel. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think he needs to lead that river. I don't think it's great. I think he needs to check it to allow me to bluff. You know, if I have an ace, I'm gonna be betting it anyway. Six, seven suited. It's not a profitable open early position. The only benefit from opening this early position is to have board coverage. So in order for me to open it, I need to have some weaker players in the blinds, and that's it really. It's not set. It's a bad open from under the gun. I will be 3-bet calling this versus this stack size. Interesting flop. Go third with range. Fours here. I know I open fives. Fours, threes, and twos is the low frequency open. I will fold with no immediate weaker players in the blinds. It's interesting too because ace queen makes up a lot of his range here. King queen. But he also has a lot of two pairs as well. I was watching over the first video I made. I mean, if you can't tell already from the accent, I'm from Northern Ireland. It's a bit surreal to hear a Northern Irish accent on a video because we're quite a small country, so we're not really out there. And I don't even have that strong of a Northern Irish accent either, so. Also, just realised it's probably not a great time to be playing uh, Zoom, considering Scoop has just started. Yeah, I think in general this is just a fold. Um, However, we are 160, so implied odds. That's the only reason you're calling is for implied odds here. You're set mining effectively. I tend not to get too out of line in these spots, um, especially not with hands like this. You know, we do have queens in our range, tens in our range, ace jack in our range. It's interesting. Now I'm trying to think what what hands he has plays like this. I am just gonna go big though. Queens here. I assume he maybe had ace king. He checked the flop. Ace queen. Okay, well that makes sense. Queens here. Quite a big 3-bet. I think we call. We can definitely 4-bet. Well, I was gonna say we could block the river, but now with the king. Is 3. These are always tricky for me. I think ace queen is just a straight up value bet, so you just go large. It's hard to have bluffs though on that river. I think when we ISO and then check back this flop on the ace turn, we represent ace x very well. I generally complete pretty wide here when there's a limper, but 9-2 off, it's garbage. Jack 9 suited. I finally get to use my RNG. So 70. I would 3-bet this about a quarter of the time. So 75 or over. Let's fold this down. Otherwise, I'm just 3-betting at a ridiculously high frequency. Wow. I mean, what do you do? I mean, Bobby is king. And it is ace king. He cashed out. Let's make a note of that. Kind of takes all the fun out of it when you're just open ripping 100 big blinds with ace king. Mm. I was just about to say that king queen off, the king of clubs on this flop texture is a reasonable check raise bluff. The two overs blocking the stronger jack X and the backdoor flush draw. If this was, I would say, a higher pool, like 25 and L, 50 and L, where I expect players to see bet this size with a balanced range, then check raising it's more viable. But given this is 2 and L, people play exploitative when he bets this size. Much more inclined to believe that he's stronger. Don't think you should have any leading range, but I see so much leading gone at 2 and 0. It's actually quite hard to play against, personally. Because I don't think he leads 2. Oh, he's betting big now. Interesting. I mean, we block the flush draw. Interesting. Feels like ace 10. I think I'm just gonna. This might be exploitative to fold, but I think I'm just gonna fold. I think with the king high flush draw, having more showdown. So strange. I'm not sure. That's quite a large bet too. I'm really not sure. I think queen jack off makes for a reasonable. Like if I'm c betting this, I am c betting third with range. think it makes a reasonable C bet. Pocket tens here. It's definitely close. King high going to be C betting third with range. Don't think this is a bluff. It's very strange though. It's hard to find bluffs here, especially with the tens. 10 of spades at least anyway. So this was the guy that we just played the tens against. So he min raised, cut off, and now he's 3xing button. So that would indicate hand strength. I mean, it's fine at 2-0 to play. Wow. To play exploitative like that. But some players will pick up on it. I'm just going to fold nines here. I don't know much about this guy, so I would probably call jacks plus. You see all kinds of stuff. 2-0. It's completely possible that he has ace 10 here. I mean, you see it all the time at these stakes. Eight, 9 off, blind v blind. I think it's the bottom of my range for opening. Could folded if you'd like, especially considering we're 250 bigs. Not sure without having the spade, or even if having the spade matters. About c betting, we'll check though and see what happens. Half pot, such a strange sizing. I always think half pot is the sizing that players, when they don't know what to do, they just go half pot. I've also noticed though that a lot of players have a very high bet when check too, especially blind v blind, because no one expects you to be balanced. So whenever you get check too, some players will just barrel off. He's deep in the tank here. Just crunching the numbers here. Just decided to check. Not really sure if we can double barrel the queen turn. We check back a lot of queens. Sorry, yeah, on the flop. Check it. I think this is pretty close. Interesting. I think I might raise, considering I don't block any of the top pairs. The only thing is there's a player in the big blind, and if I raise, I could scare him off. I think I'm still going to go ahead though. There's a lot of hands that's going to call us. Interesting. With a weaker player here and here, I think we can call fives. Generally speaking, we check back this. Interesting. I think we just shove now. Oh. Flopping sets everywhere. Decided to check this back. It's a very dry board. I could have made a mistake here. I mean, wow. King Jack is the only hand I beat. Oh, quads. Cool. Not sure about that. Wow. I just think when he has, yeah, maybe that's a bad call actually. Oh, that's That's a huge squeeze. It's very hard for me to fold these hands because he doesn't have, I don't think he has nines whenever I raise. So he either has queen 10, pocket tens, or the very unlikely pocket queens. I'm just going to fold here. And given it's 2NL, the amount of times that I see players jam king jack for value here, or turn a hand like ace jack into a bluff, it's very high. I would not put it past the average 2NL player to shove king jack here for value. So whenever he does shove, even though it's fairly hard to find bluffs, it's very hard to fold. These turns are always tricky for me sometimes. I'm always wondering what size, and especially when we have a merging hand like eights, you know. I think we just go this size here. He still has like nines, tens, jacks, queens. Yeah, interesting. It's interesting that he shoves too. I think I'm supposed to block the river here. I'm just gonna fold. It's very hard to have bluffs here. You know, he has to double float. Perhaps my turn size could have been a bit smaller with this specific hand. I find that players at 2NL, even hands like ace jack, even if they get to the river in this spot and they have ace jack, even some of them don't even shove ace jack. I think this is the guy we played the big hand of aces with earlier. This is already getting dicey. Unblocking diamonds, so I think we still have to call. And this is close, especially with two weaker players. And if he block, yeah, it's just a fold. Just trying to get the showdown with the 6x here. It's probably unlikely given that turn. Yeah. Sevens here. It's a very good flop for his range. Snap checked. Oh, it's good old Doyle Bronson. Look at this. This to me is, I don't know, it's just very strange. Because I don't know what Jack X he gets to the river with. So when he shoves, I don't know what he's representing. And I block having eights. I block a lot of his 7x. I mean, he could have ace jack. I think with the spade we have to call. Queen's not great. Not sure. These spots are always tough. Sevens. Not really sure why he bets sevens on the turn. He's probably not thinking. I think sevens just wants to go to showdown. Again, this is another spot where I'm not sure if I'm supposed to turn this into a bluff. Oh, fair enough. Pocket kings here. I think it's best to just slow play and keep all his pocket jacks, his king in his range. I will just be check raising getting this in. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see aces here. Jacks. Oh, wow. Well, I did say we would call to keep his jacks and tens in. Wasn't expecting him to bink it on the turn though. Oh, it's pretty brutal. King queen here. I think we'll call ace queen. I think makes a more reasonable squeeze in this position. Yeah, this is always a spot where do you go small as a strategy with range or large? It's quite a raise. It's interesting considering we have the 10 of hearts and the ace. It's gonna fold. Ace jack suited here. I think I like calling here. Could definitely see a 3-bet. When check 2, I generally go a third with range. Oh, wow. Was not expecting that. Looks a lot like a set of 8s, set of 9s. Considering we block jack 10. We also have him over here in this table, so we'll just call. I don't think players tend to check raise ace queen here. I actually think he has it. I don't know what it is. I think he has pocket 8s, pocket 9s here. So I don't know if I can shove over a bet on the river. But if check 2, I think I can shove. Oh, okay. I mean, he can't have king jack of spades, so that was extremely aggressive. I should definitely take a note of that. Wow, that was extremely aggressive. Not really sure. I'm not really sure why that hand goes in. Why he would do that with that hand. Here I'm gonna go 5x because I'm out of position. Not a great flop. I'm gonna start off with a check. Possibly a decent spot to lead, but like I said, I don't like having leading ranges. This is gonna look very face up, but I'm not gonna slow play the nuts here. Oh, it's an above average flop. So gonna make it an exploitative size. Gonna c-bet a bit bigger here because he is a weaker player. It's gonna fold with this guy being that short. Oh, brutal. Closing in 45 minutes. I think we'll round this up. I think we have to call one here. The problem is when people lead in these positions, they just tend to have it. Now he checks. Don't think he would check a jack. I actually think I'm good here, but I don't know if I can value bet. Oh, he did. It's here. No heart, and he's a short stack, so implied odds. It's great. Okay, I think we'll call it there. Thanks for watching.